All right, welcome back to Crane's Bar and Grill. And let's see, we're going to do episode 4 of the Rings of Power. Let's see. So we got to find out if the Queen Regent Muriel, is she faithful or Kingsmen? I want to see who they ended off with. Arendir and the orcs are, uh, you know, serving whoever their master is. He looked like his ears could have been pointed, but it was also fuzzy, so you don't know. But I wonder who that is. Still don't know who the meteor dude is. We got to find out that sooner or later. They're trying to lead you to believe that it's Gandalf, so that's kind of on the nose, maybe. So maybe it's not. The guy with Galadriel. God, see, I'm horrible with names. It turned out that he's maybe like the king of the Southlands. So, maybe we'll find out more about him. I kind of like that story where that could go. I just don't like Galadriel being in the middle of that because it's too distracting. Because it keeps distracting because this isn't her story. That's not who she is. She's one of the most powerful beings on the in Middle Earth or on the planet at the time. So but the way they've made her, she's just like a normal elf that's good at fighting, and she's always angry, and her mouth doesn't move very much. When she talks like this, and you better do that, and it doesn't move a whole lot, which is kind of distracting. But I like Bronwyn, right? We haven't seen her that last episode, did we? I don't think we did. So let's see what's going on with her and Arondir. I like that story because they're totally made up characters, so I don't know where that's going. So that story's actually pretty good. And like I've said before, I thought I would have a problem. I thought it'd be distracting having a black elf, but it doesn't. And I think most of it has to do with the guy they got playing it. For some reason, I like him. I don't know what it is. He just has one of those faces that he seems like a kind person, like a person who cares, like a person who is concerned, but he's still manly, But I don't know, there's something about him I just like. So I think that's mostly why I don't have any kind of problem with, because you just never thought of a black elf, you know. But I think that's mostly why I don't have a problem with that, is because they got a really good guy to play it, and he just, I don't know, there's something about him, and I just completely forget. He's just another elf, And we didn't see the dwarves the last episode, and like I said, I also thought I would have a little bit of a distraction with one of with his wife being black, a black dwarf, but who they got playing it. I've seen her in some interviews, and I didn't care for her. She seemed, I don't know. I just didn't care for her. I don't know. She was all about, race and this and that instead of about Tolkien, because that's what you do in the Rings of Power. Instead about the Rings of Power, it was all about race. But then when you see her in the show, I like her, but it's distracting because she doesn't have a beard. That's what's distracting me, not because she's black, because I like her. She's very nice, and I don't know, there's something about her that seems fun and whatever. But no beard, she should have a big old beard, and that part would be so much better with a big beard, because it would be even, some of the things would be even more amusing, and I think it would make it cuter between them. I don't know what it is. It would just make it better. So that's kind of distracting. But did we see Elrond last episode? I don't think we did. Did we? So we got to see where that's going. But we did find out that the symbol is actually Mordor, which I got that like right before it did. I was like, oh, that's Mordor. So we got to find out who's going to turn out to be Sauron, who's going to try to be this person, that person. So, there's a couple of storylines that have me interested. The Harfoots, I don't care about. I just care about who is the meteor guy. So if they're not showing the meteor guy, and advancing that, because the last time there was nothing from the beginning to the end. He was the same. You still just didn't know who he is, because really with him you just kind of care, who is he. And with Arondir, kind of advanced the story. There's a few things in there with, like, they were drinking the water. I didn't understand. It was just the orcs tormenting them. We already know that orcs are bad. Who doesn't know that? They've already got everybody chained up and forcing them to work. But I want to find out why they're digging that trench in those tunnels. Because if you just wanted to go across the land, it'd be easier to just travel at night and hide in a cave or something during the day than it would be to all that work to dig a tunnel. So there's something else going on there. I mean, you could use that whole trench of those tunnels to to bring large masses of armies through and keep bringing them through, and supplies and stuff maybe, or they're looking for something. I wonder what they're looking for. The dwarves could be an interesting story, but so far, you know, what was going on is interesting, but they didn't have in the last one. Who else? Galadriel's story so far is not. I can't. It's hard to get into it because that's not who Galadriel is. So they've made her less of an elf, less of a, you know, less powerful, just a normal elf. So they could have gotten anybody to play that. I mean, not anybody as far as like any actress. I'm talking about instead of making it Galadriel, they could have just made it some elf you hadn't heard of, and then it'd be much easier to buy that whole story. So let's get, so, you know, without any further ado, I've already talked long enough. Let's get to episode 4 and see if any of our questions get answered. That's kind of the only reason I'm watching it now, is just to see if some of those questions get answered.
And to see if this gets, I mean, it could get better.
And the intro, I don't think it does like Game of Thrones where each time you can watch it and something changes and you can kind of know. Which just, I think it's going to be the same thing every time. It looks like it so far. But I haven't watched it in a couple of turns, so let's see if they change anything. Because it's just the same thing over and over again. Then I'll just skip it every time. That part of the song that singing in the background reminds me of Nightwish, The Poet and the Pendulum. That's what it reminds me of. That part, just that one part, with the high voices singing in the background. That's what I like. I know if I like the name, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. I don't know if I like that title or not. I don't know. It just seems a little plain, I guess. Something like that. Just a little too on the nose. That's a beautiful shot there, though. For some reason, I think they're going to make her into an actual good person, where she's part of the faithful.
Guide thy steps.
Well, what's that? Is there it's like an earthquake or a... Is there a volcano on that island? I don't remember. That's not island stretching. That's like an explosion or something. What's going on there? Oh, is that the leaves from the tree? Oh, this has got to be that's a premonition or something. That can't be real. Because that's when Numenor sinks into the ocean. She had a dream. That's going to come to be. You've been given a vision. Are you going to take it serious? See, his hair is shorter. The young kid, and that's how your hair would look if you don't have any gel or anything. You just kind of comb it and it just falls down. Why are the elves' hair all done up and like they're in a boy band or something, you know? Or like they're, you know, like you have to have, like I said, gel and hairspray and everything else. You know, give a good speech and then get them drunk. They'll forget all about the fact that, yeah, something's coming. I love his voice.
You should not speak of matters you do not understand, Galadriel, daughter of Finarfin.
And you should stand aside, that I might present my proposal to one who holds the authority to answer it.
Galadriel's better than that. She could have handled that and talked her way, and she's just mad. I mean, like, this isn't a younger Galadriel. Galadriel, at this point, has been alive for thousands of years. That couldn't hold Galadriel, the real Galadriel.
Tavern brawl.
Sedition.
I mean, why make Galadriel less? Do they think because it's like the second age or something, not the third age, that Galadriel's like younger and doesn't have power? She's been alive for thousands of years already. She's grown. She knows herself. You know, she could get out of that prison no problem. The cage. So what's calling Isildur?
It was my fault, Simos.
I let it slip.
That was deliberate. You're off the sea guard.
Well, that's not a good way to get people to trust
All
you.
3 of you.
Why would you dismiss all 3 of them? Oh well.
I thought the sailmaster would only dismiss me.
Because
I'm sorry.
Because the story needs it to dismiss all three of them.
You sorry?
I will speak to my father. Convince him to see that you're both reinstated.
What have you ever done but brood and blubber about your dead mother?
Stop it! Stop it! Enough! Where are you going?
Going, staying, what does it matter? The real
Yeah,
problem
the
is...
truth hurts sometimes, doesn't it? We already saw this entrance. Are we watching it again? That's an elf, isn't it? Looks like an elf. But who is it? I wonder why he's all disfigured. Is he an elf turned bad? Because he was burned and left behind or something like that? Some of those typical tropes? Or are they going to get creative? Yeah, who are you? Good question.
Why do the orcs call you father?
To Adar's father. I think you said it before. Ah, another chihuahua. Another mad chihuahua.
What are you?
Yeah, what are you? Who are you?
Go to the men who've taken refuge in the old watchtower. Deliver to them a message.
What message?
They don't get to even know the message? We don't get to know who he is, or get to know the message. Why does it just seem like a couple of people that needed a bigger group there? Just make it seem more... Oh, what happened to the sheep? He walks like he's got something in his pants. Kind of bow-legged, like I got dirty underwear. I got a rash. I haven't bathed in a while. I got kind of a rash down there, and it's kind of hurting to walk. How much more can you carry? Go get greedy. His pants even look like there's something like he's... Oh, that's just disgusting. You just take what's already there and go. And there he goes. The door's going to shut, and you're going to be in the dark. And then here comes the orcs. Up, clouds, of course. Yeah, you got to get out of there. Save the food. Well, you waited too long, buddy. Oh, looky there. Is that what they're looking for? Is he going to turn out to be... You going to make him Sauron? So they're looking for the hilt. It would have been better just to run full blast. He's a young kid. Yeah, way not to get caught, dude. Hey, what, did he dive down in the water? Why even do that part? I mean, like we thought they were going to kill the kid or something. So they're making the furnace so they can make the rings. Why is he still wearing the same outfit? Whatever was in that chest is what he's hiding. Her not having a beard is distracting. Yeah, she's hiding something. She knows what's in that chest. Yeah, see? He didn't believe you.
Lucky my future queen could convince a water rat to wear a mink coat.
Oh, so he's watching. I love dwarves. Basically, like her future queen, that means his dad's the king, right? Are they both called Durin? Because that's not how elves work. I mean, dwarves work. There's only one Durin at a time, you know, because they believe he's the like Durin is reincarnated. So when they get a king that is a lot like him, or they think is him, then his name is Durin, because he's like reincarnated. So you can't have two Durins. So I guess he's seen that before, or something like that before in the past. So what are they mining? What's in that chest, I wonder? Can't be like an Arkenstone because they really found one and you're done. It's got to be something else. That,
I knew it!
is that Mithril?
Kept a spy on me, elf.
Because they were just find silver would be a big deal.
You want it for yourself.
Durin, want what? What is the meaning of all this?
I need your oath.
I like him. I like that dwarf. He makes a good dwarf. He's good.
Hunter Mountain, you'll never breathe so much as a whisper of what I'm about to tell you to another living soul. Do you swear it, Elrond?
I swear on the memory of my father, Eärendil the Mariner. Anything you tell me here will end in my ears alone.
Disa detected it during a routine gold seaming. When you or
Is that... It's Mithril.
lighter than silk, harder than iron as weaponry, it would best
Mithril.
have proudest blades. Might be dearer than gold.
It is strange how it catches the light. Why all the secrecy? Why not celebrate this? What do you call this miracle orb?
In our tongue, grey glitter. In yours, something like me throud.
Mithril.
No, it would be Mithril.
Galadriel wouldn't be in. This is distracting because Galadriel, that would not keep Galadriel in at all. I mean, especially after seeing, I mean, I in The Hobbit, I saw her walk in with that white dress and bare feet and just hold up her hand and send Sauron away. So why would that even
Has it ever occurred to you that you're not
hold her?
battling...
Are you really about to advise me in the art of war?
No.
He's pretty good at fighting.
I wouldn't dare. Queen's Court isn't exactly your usual battlefield, is it?
The real Galadriel kind of would have been. She's a high lady.
So by your standards, I am in this cell because I am yet to identify what the Queen most fears. And I suppose you did, having met her for all of a few moments.
During which you managed to demand a ship, insult her people, defy her orders.
I asked her to fight for your people.
Was it?
I demanded to speak with her father.
Salutations, Elf. You are to be shipped back to the Elves under armed escort tonight.
Again, Galadriel wouldn't care about an armed escort. She just would walk out because she wanted to. There wouldn't be anything you could do about it. So Galadriel's storyline is distracting.
I wouldn't advise that. I can't very well let her leave.
You could, if you knew exactly where she was going.
So she got out of it, but she had to fight her way. And Galadriel wouldn't physically have to fight the way out of it. Anyway, it's just distracting.
And when he announced plans to renew relations with the elves,
The people rebelled.
much was lost. I was chosen to rule in his stead.
That's not Tolkien. She was never a ruler. It was always Forazon, whatever his name is.
The other six either lost.
Is that a Palantir? Yeah.
This one was passed to my father. Place your hand upon it.
Oh, they're hidden. Yeah, because I know there was one in Numenor.
I must warn
The
you.
Numenor, they had several on there, didn't they? They could talk all over the island or something, like. Oh, when they went to the New World, they took them. They took several. Didn't they have one in here? They had one in the one tower. Anyway, I don't remember. Did the Palantir show the future?
It is Numenor's future you saw.
I thought you could see other places in Middle Earth. The Palantir don't show the future, do they?
Some that will never come to pass.
It has already come to pass.
The vision begins with your arrival.
You believe I
They do?
will bring about Numenor's downfall?
Only Numenor can bring about
I don't
your
remember.
downfall.
I don't remember exactly what to do, but I thought they just, you could see
A day of virtue.
different,
Take it away. Should we
where,
turn to the
where
path
other
of darkness?
Palantir were, or something like that.
Was your ancestors' loyalty to the elves?
My father believed that. His path nearly destroyed us.
They can, they will.
That is why tomorrow I will announce that you are gone.
Avoiding this war may be the very thing that brings about your downfall.
I will not second guess the gods.
I know what it is to be the
No, it is, because Sauron shows up and the only one who talks without barely moving her mouth. See, wait till it's dark and then try to escape when all of them are going to be out. You're going to walk right on the corner, someone's going to be right there. See, yeah, because that smile, you're busted. Told ya. That was so predictable, it was crazy. Dang. Oh, maybe not. Where did he come from? Oh, that's right, he let him go. That's right, let him go to go warn him. And he gave him his sword and an arrow and his bow back and everything? I guess those orcs, oh, well, they're there to find the hilt, so even if... Oh, here comes Mom. Is she gonna get hit? Run! God, always in movies. They're like, run, why are you sitting there hugging? And they always sit around for a second. You're like, run! Oh, that in the sunlight. We're not gonna go out in the sunlight. Okay, but you were just shooting arrows at him. You can't shoot an arrow from there? You're just gonna turn your back and walk away because they can't go in the sunlight? Instead of screaming, shoot an arrow at him. Oh, I guess they shot a couple, but not very accurately. Who are these other... Would have been so much better if that had that voice coming out of there, and she had a beard, but she had that female voice come out. That would have been so much better. What a contrast.
My father single-handedly sailed to Valinor. So great were his deeds that the Valar lifted him beyond the bounds of this world to forever carry the evening star across the sky.
Arendil.
From
Arendil.
At day's end, I would look up at it. Would he be proud of what I had accomplished with his legacy?
He will.
Disappointed.
Eventually.
I would be only too happy to hear any judgment, so long as it granted me the opportunity to have but one more conversation with my father.
How is it that you and my husband met?
I told you, I saved him from a hill troll.
Two of them. Yes, I know.
Uh-huh.
I was asking Elrond.
Then I fear I have no
Let's do it.
choice but to amend your husband's account. There were 3 trolls,
Uh-oh.
and it was I who saved him.
You wouldn't remember your face if you're gazing in a mirror.
When I came upon him in the forest, he was in the midst of dodging.
I like
Valar,
them too, yeah.
wailing, screaming, and such.
But I think more I like the...
The screams were
No,
so
it's a good
high-pitched,
couple,
I
the way he
thought
is and the way
so I
she
took up
is.
my bow.
It was a sword.
It was a bow.
Ah, it was a sword.
So tell me his father's died.
Our people believe
Oh, no, he's not. Okay.
that when a new
He's just
dwarf
old.
king is crowned, the voices of all his forebears flow into him. You need not wait for that day to hear my voice. Forever am I with you, my son. There is nothing to forgive.
Yeah, I want to know what that message is. That's... Well, you need to go get some backup. Because these jackwagons ain't gonna be able to take care of it. What's that Galadriel have? Telepathy? She could actually talk to him in her mind if she wanted to. The leaves are falling. Uh-oh. You were warned. Time is close.
revolutionary force will be made up of brave sons and daughters from across fair Numenor. Step forward and make yourself known.
His son will say it.
I will serve.
I will serve.
You got to do it. Your buddy's doing it. So that was weird. They sent her off. She saw that the leaves were falling. So it's their judgment. So she decides, I guess, have her turn around and come back. And hey, now we're going to go help. So they waste time with all these other little things. But then that was kind of quick. You know what I mean? Instead of having her mull over it or this or go talk to Elendil or anything like that, you know, or talk to a Pharazôn, you know, or anything like that. Like, hey, we're going to do a shocker, you know, and it didn't. Even though I didn't expect that to happen, it didn't shock me. It didn't. I didn't go, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, so she decided to go, huh? Okay. So I wonder if Pharazôn, while she's gone, is going to take over. Isildur's father, so Isildur decided to go, his buddies decided to go. So that was episode 4. And it was okay. Like I said, it's just kind of moseying along. The only ones, the only storyline is with Arindir and Brawin. I kind of like, you know, I don't remember, did Numenor go and help in Middle Earth? I don't remember them ever doing that. But like I said, they only have access to certain things. So some things they might have to change or can't show because they don't have access to that material. Do they have access to Numenor falling and Sauron convincing them, the King's Men, to go attack the Undying Lands? Do they have that? And it's called the Rings of Power, so I'm assuming they have the rights to them making the rings. So anyway, so I guess we just got to see on the next one what's up with that one. So I might do that tonight. Go ahead and watch that tonight, or you know, if I have time. But it might be tomorrow or the next day. But yeah. So thanks for joining me on Crane's Bar and Grill, and for this review of the Rings of Power episode. This was episode 4. And so I'll see you on episode 5. So y'all have a good evening. Bye.